Hello and welcome to a special edition of the Classic Review Show. I am Shane Price, joined by Jayden Ginsweider. I almost gave up the bit right away on accident there. Today, we are reviewing a John Cena main event match with WWE Extreme Rules 2011.
Mm-hmm.
You may know why we're doing this match. We'll get to it later. So let's get it right away at the first match here. CM Punk.
Well, just the kind of the details here. May 1st, 2011, in front of 10,000 people at the St. Pete Times Forum in Tampa, Florida. On the call, we'll have Jerry Lawler, Michael Cole, Booker T, and Josh Matthews. Show runs 2 hours 48 minutes. So, and why are we reviewing this? As we can allude to here, it is John Cena's funniest moment.
It really is. It really
funnier than
is.
any comedy he's ever done. Legitimately his funniest moment. But we can get to the first match.
CM Punk takes on Randy Orton in a last man standing match where New Nexus is banned from ringside.
Mm-hmm. What I really liked about this match is just how overly dramatic they were every time they beat a count. At one point, Punk beats a count and then falls all the way outside of the ring over to like the barricade.
They just like smiles it up, you know?
Yeah, really funny. The RKO on the announce table looked brutal. Yeah, what'd you like from this match?
I mean, as you said, the RKO looks pretty nasty. I also like the smiling it up.
Mm-hmm.
But that's like that. This is like the era where they're both in their peak, and they're really showing it off here.
I didn't love it as an opener.
Yeah,
I would want something a little bit more fast paced as an opener. I have my suggestion later in the card. I give this 3 1/4.
Yeah, that's fair. I gave it 3.5.
Mm-hmm.
Then the
First title match of the night.
first title match for the U.S. title. It is Kofi Kingston, the challenger, taking on Sheamus, the champion, in a tables match.
Mm-hmm. There's a spot in this where Sheamus shoves a table into Kofi's like midsection that looks so
You think
bad.
that's what caused the pec gap on Kofi?
No, I'm pretty sure he had it already at this point.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it was always there. It's just kind of gotten more prominent as time goes on.
Yeah.
There's one point where Sheamus pushes Kofi to try to put him through a table, pushes him off the top rope, and he like jumps over the table, just showing that athleticism.
Kofi's always going to have that at least one match he does where he has that crazy spot like that.
Mm-hmm. Pretty mid-match, couple cool spots. I give it 2 3/4.
Yeah, for a tables match, it was kind of underwhelming. I give it 2.5.
The thing is with what's so hard about tables matches is that we've seen everything.
Yeah, we really have.
We've seen all of the creative ways you can avoid it. So you have to really dig and really get creative to find a way to make a tables match interesting. I think the one that Sheamus had with Cena where he wins the WWE title is really interesting. There's a lot of drama around the table in that one that's built up well. But this one just wasn't it. Better than the next match, though.
I mean, no, most matches are better than the next match. I'll be real.
Yeah.
Jerry Lawler and Jim Ross take on Michael Cole and Jack Swagger in a strap match that
sort of country whipping match.
Yeah, it really puts the Yellow Pie strap match into like the best strap match ever. No, I refuse to rate this.
This was just utter dog shit.
I refuse to rate this.
This was so bad. I gave it half a star.
That's fair.
One half of 1 star.
This is a dud.
This is terrible.
I gave it. If I had to rate it, I would have done.
All right, there you go.
Rey versus Cody for the False Count Anywhere stipulation.
Yeah, this match I think was the best work in feud of Cody's original run.
I do remember
WWE.
liking the Big Show feud a little bit too.
Yeah, but this is
the best work though.
This is the dashing Cody Rhodes. Rey breaks his nose with the knee brace on the 619 on just a random episode of SmackDown. Like this all starts from just a random SmackDown match.
Yeah.
And then Cody takes that and puts together this character that just runs. He'll win the Intercontinental title later in this year and rebrand it with the new white strap and
he's putting bags on faces.
Bags on faces is such a good bit. Like I just really love this work from Cody. This match was fun. They go all over the arena. Rey hits the mist to Cody. This should have been the opener. This is my suggestion of what should have opened the show. I gave this 3 3/4. I thought this was very good.
Yeah. I gave it about 3.5. It was a
Yeah.
little bit lower than you, but it's still a pretty good match.
Mm-hmm.
So you have not very good match. This next match again. Layla versus Michelle McCool. The leg of powers explode.
Mm-hmm.
For a loser leaves WWE match.
Yep, no DQ, but the no DQ part doesn't come into play like at all.
No, it doesn't. Michelle wins.
Layla wins.
Oh,
because it's kind of fitting because Michelle just got put in the Hall of Fame.
Right.
And
this is her last match.
This is her last match. We didn't do that on purpose. We were doing this for the Cena bit.
We do it every once in a while. We just have
this happens all the time, though, where something lines up. Really funny that they still had the same theme song, so the theme song just kept playing, but Layla entered after Michelle.
You're not enough for me.
Yeah.
The best part was Karma.
Yeah, 1 3/4, I think, for the match.
I gave it 1.
Kind of bad, yeah.
Once, shockingly, like most women's matches from this time period, Awesome Kong the best part.
Yeah.
She hit the, whatever you want to call it, Karma Driver, Impact
Driver,
Impact Drive, Tiger Drive 98, whatever you want to call it. Cool move, obviously.
Yep, hit it on Michelle, right? Or was it Layla? I don't remember.
One of them. It should have been both of them.
Yeah, that was the women's spot of the night.
For the World Heavyweight title, the recently vacated title at his retirement, Christian, his best friend, was Del Rio, the former champion.
Mm-hmm. The guy he had wrestled at WrestleMania. This was supposed to be a rematch, ladder match between Edge and Del Rio, but because of Edge's retirement, they had to find a replacement. There's a battle royal won by Christian, so we get this. Yeah, this was a pretty solid ladder match that ends in an incredible moment. I think this is one of those things where the winner of the match raises the star rating for me, and I gave it 3 3/4.
A brutal alone this match wouldn't be as good. I gave it 4, just on the moment alone.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was a good match, and then Christian winning, no.
Yeah.
Puts the even higher.
Yep.
Kane and The Big Show are the tag team champions. They face the Core in my favorite extreme ECW match type, the Lumberjack.
Yep.
Famously done ECW all those years ago.
Yes. Do you want to read the Lumberjacks list?
I will. There's a lot of names on here that I'm laughing at. Byron Saxton, Connor, Darren Young, future Triple Crown champion David Hart Smith, Evan Bourne, Heath Slater, and Jacob Novak.
He was an FCW guy for like a few months.
He was definitely NXT. I know that much.
This is the most prominent he ever was. This
well,
is
it
his
was
Apex Mountain.
NXT.
He was in NXT?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure. Future ballroom dancer Johnny Curtis.
Yep, Fandango.
Justin Gabriel. Who the fuck is Lucky Cannon?
Just like Jacob Novak. Nothing, nobody.
Primo, Santino, Titus O'Neil, future member of the Don Callis family, Trent Beretta, Gabby Tuft, Vladimir Kozlov, and Yoshi Tatsu. Future Bullet Club Hunter.
Yes. What a fucking lineup.
Future woman Tyler Rex.
I mean, I guess technically always had been a woman,
yeah.
but future official.
future out as.
Yeah, that's really funny. That's really good.
This match was pretty good.
It was more fun.
What it was. I think the Lumberjacks were more fun than the actual match.
Yeah, it was more fun for Lumberjack spotting because I looked up this list afterwards, but as I was watching, I was like, is that fucking Byron Saxton?
Like, who the fuck is that random blonde dude?
Yeah, it was really David Hart Smith's outfit, by the way. Wrestling trunks, knee pads and boots, blazer, cowboy hat, no shirt.
That's my goddamn Triple Crown champion right there. Stand
Awesome,
hands
dude.
it up, brother. You gave it 2.5.
I have a 2.5. Yeah,
I gave it 2.
Yeah.
Only because of the goddamn Lumberjack.
Oh god, yeah.
This match sucked. And then the the main event, a triple threat cage match. The Miz, the champion for some goddamn reason. John Cena and John Morrison.
John Morrison, so cool.
Dude had he had it.
He had it. It was so much fun. Also has some fun cage spots in this.
Yes,
he's the high flyer of the match, and this was going to be R-Truth instead of John Morrison. Because this is in the era where they were still taking R-Truth seriously because people still remembered his TNA run.
Yeah.
And so that you have to take him seriously.
Could you imagine if you had one more serious R-Truth run?
Dude, that'd be crazy.
Rename him, dude.
Put him in that Braun Breaker.
Just
Seth
bring
Rollins
back
stable.
Ron the Truth Killings. I'm sold.
Yeah, with Paul Heyman, dude.
Oh, dude, that'd be so good. That'd be really cool.
Say what you will about Miz's title reign, but I always loved him keeping the spinner logo upside down.
Yeah.
The M.
Yeah.
And then the best spot of this match, I think, goes to Miz also. Cena has him in the STF, and he's crawling towards the door, not to try to escape, but to push Cena's neck up against the rope and choke him out.
It's unique. You don't see that often.
It felt like an ROH Pure Rules match spot.
Yeah.
Where like someone's out of rope breaks, but they use the rope to still get out of the submission.
Do you imagine if the Miz was Ring of Honor Pure guy? Mike Mizanian.
Nigel McGuinness versus Miz for the.
Have you seen the pictures of the Miz doing like with the title and it have other titles?
Yeah.
The worst I've seen is the GHC Championship.
Yeah, but it'd be funny to do the pure title. There's a Starship Pain from the cage that doesn't quite land.
Brutal spot for me.
Brutal spot. There R-Truth run in to take out John Morrison.
It wasn't
that bad.
It wasn't horrible, no.
I thought it was a pretty good match. A lot of fun spots.
Was that the heel turn or was he already heel?
He turned heel like a month prior.
Okay.
I think.
Think of the children. Won't you think of the children? He's spoken the.
I give it 3.5 stars.
I gave it 3 3/4. I really like this match.
Yeah. It's pretty good.
Finally, the best moment. We'll get right into it. We'll get right into it.
The best moment is
after the match.
After the show. It was shown on Raw the next night.
So if you know history at all, May 1st, 2011 is a big date in U.S. history because I'll quote John Cena here. We have caught and compromised to a permanent end Osama Bin Laden. Who told him?
Okay, so I looked into this. Barack Obama announces it like during the main event. So Obama had announced it already. And then somehow they get that information to John Cena.
I could have.
It had to have gone through the announcers, right?
I could have sworn at the beginning first about this that he did it before Obama.
No, but Obama had announced it already, but it had been like recent.
Okay.
So it must have been like somebody backstage.
I think the ref, because the ref has the earpiece.
Well, I was saw the news article, tells Vince tells a commentator, because Cena does it standing on the commentary desk. So maybe he tells Michael Cole tells Cena to announce it. And he does in just the funniest way. It's so fun, because this wasn't like Twitter was around, but it's not what it is even a few years later, let alone what it is today. So like it's not like everybody in the arena knew, but so there are thousands of people who found out Osama Bin Laden died from John fucking Cena.
There's at least 10,000.
Yeah. It is the funniest thing that Cena ever did.
I remember waking up on the second, and the news all they were talking about was Osama Bin Laden, and watching Raw, and they showed the guy, and I'm like, yeah, John Cena, woo! But looking back, this is the funniest thing he's ever been in.
Yeah, I vaguely remember them talking about it on SNL that week, but that's like my only real recollection of this happening.
I used to watch the WGN news every day, so.
But that's the best moment.
Best MVP is it Osama Bin Laden?
No.
Thank God.
I'm gonna give it to Cody Rhodes.
I'm gonna give it to I'm gonna give it to Jomo.
To John Morrison.
Yeah.
There you go. That's a good one.
Heat
check. You can give it to R-Truth.
Yeah.
You can give it to Edge and his little involvement in distracting Del Rio.
R-Truth. One of the two. I'm gonna say R-Truth though.
Yeah, I'll go R-Truth. Apex Mountain.
This is easily the Apex for John Cena announcements.
Was this the Apex Mountain for Osama Bin Laden?
This is the Apex of Jacob Novak, Lucky Cannon.
Yep.
Hell, most if not all the Lumberjacks.
Yeah.
Maybe minus David Hart Smith.
And Evan Bourne. And Fandango. He wrestled at WrestleMania. He had
this is your Apex.
Yeah.
This is the Apex. No, that's Royal Rumble. This is the Apex of Jay Lawler's modern WWE career.
I know.
What is it then?
I don't know, but it can't be this.
They're all pretty bad. Is this
The Miz? He had a ladder match with the Miz on Raw that wasn't horrible.
That's fair. I remember watching that match. This is the Apex of Lumberjacks.
Apex for Lumberjacks.
Has there been a better choice of Lumberjacks?
There hasn't been a weirder choice of Lumberjacks. I can tell you that.
That's true. Surprise of the show.
I'm gonna give it to John Morrison. I think he did better than I expected
in
that match.
I would say actually, I'm gonna say The Miz.
I say The Miz.
Yeah,
that's fair. Both of them. I think if it wasn't for the John Cena announcing Osama Bin Laden's death, I think that STF rope spot probably would have been best moment, or Christian winning could have been best moment.
Yeah.
Also, how funny would it have been if the main event
Christian
was switched and Christian announced that they killed Osama Bin Laden?
This goddamn Canadian. Why do you know?
him and Edge announcing this. They announced that Osama Bin Laden died, and then they do a 5-second post.
A 5-second post celebrate.
Yeah.
You must say. 2 Canadians are in there. Jesus Christ.
Recasting. Do you want to recast?
Do you want to recast the Lumberjacks?
No, because we don't know anybody relevant enough to put in there.
Is David R. Smith still David R. Smith?
Yeah, probably.
Let's do the ladder match.
The Christian and so this would have to be a close friend of a recently retired. Well, actually, recent neck injury. Close friend. History of ladder matches. Sami Zayn.
It's me. It's me. Jason's a neck injury. I mean, stop training. No,
but it's Sami Zayn. It's Christian.
Zayn, definitely, yes.
Which would make Del Rio was an up and coming guy at this time. He was
still a former champion.
I don't think he'd won a world title yet.
Yeah, he had. He was the world heavyweight champion coming into Edge's last WrestleMania.
I thought Edge was champion going in.
No, he won it there.
Because Del Rio won the Rumble.
Let's
look it up.
I swear.
Let's look at it. I have the card up here on Cage Match. If it will just fucking load. I swear to you, he won the Rumble this year because this was the 40-man Rumble. Del Rio wins. Titles. Yeah, August of 2011 when he cashes in Money in the Bank.
Okay.
He had been CMLL World Heavyweight Champion as Dos Caras Jr.
Well, there you go. He was world champion.
Former world champion.
So he was an up-and-comer who won a big match but didn't win the big belt.
Yeah.
Is it Darby?
Well,
it's always.
Should
Darby.
we try to do a Mexican up-and-comer though? Do you think we should try to keep kind of that theme? A guy on his way up. Vikingo. I mean, he's way better than Del Rio, but is he kind of the modern where Del Rio was then? Is he kind of, or I guess in the WWE sense, it could be Penta.
Yeah, I guess
we'll
go Penta.
Penta versus Sami Zayn in a ladder match would
that'd be a really good match.
That'd be an awesome match, actually. That'd be so good.
Actually, but if Vikingo was like 2 years ago,
best double feature.
Honestly, Counter Punishment. That match wasn't that bad.
The Truth Cena Counter Punishment. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Christian versus W wasn't bad.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what else I'd put in best double feature. It was kind of a weird show for that one. I like the Cena or Truth one though. Anything from this make the Wrestling Criterion Collection.
Do you want to put the Osama Bin Laden death announcement
No.
in? Otherwise, no.
No.
Otherwise, not even close.
All right, let's do Classic Hot Dog, Classic Handshake then. What was the Classic Handshake for?
The Starship. I think the main event is mine.
Okay, so Cena versus Morrison versus Miz.
Yeah.
Mine was Rey Cody. I might be a little biased. Rey's my guy, but
that's still a good match.
Still a very
good
match.
Still a good match. Yeah.
Overall, what would you give this show out of 10?
4.5.
I give it a 4. We're right on the same page. That is still better than WrestleMania 7, so not the worst of the year.
It's funny how that had a better match, though.
Yeah. Barely beats... It would have barely beat Halloween Havoc 89 of being the worst of last year.
Okay.
So it's one of the lower ratings we've ever given. 4.25, but still a pretty...
Speaking of low ratings, this next one might get a low ratings.
That might, but it's one of those that's either going to be really bad or really good because there's a lot of Japanese and lucha talent on it too.
Yeah. Starrcade 1990s is our next stop on our Classic Review Series
This
tour.
is Sting versus Black Scorpion is the main event.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So about 35 years ago, we're a little early on the 35th anniversary, but we're doing it because it was in St. Louis.
Yeah. And Backlash in St. Louis.
Yeah. So, do you want to take us out?
Sure, let's go ahead. And that's going to be doing it for us tonight. As always, let's watch other stuff. We have Heat Wave before. We have the Cruiserweight Classic, Final Solution, Mania 21, Mania 7, Mania 13.
Yeah, we got New Japan,
we have a lot.
TNA's in here.
AAA.
Yeah, they've been in the news. AAA, we did an episode on a couple of their shows from 95. Yeah, all right, go ahead.
As always, just enjoy wrestling.